control the whole system, and theoretically, we could have some fun with the RMS this way. Yeah, we could really get into some cool kinematics here, and I probably will end up doing that. But unfortunately, I left a spot right here inside of a payload fairing for all the cow controller avionics if we wanted to use that. I left a spot there where I left a spot right where it actually is in the real shuttle, right at the front of the crew tank. Can you call in and roast them for the bad coverage? Yes, I sent some messages out. No one's been able to give me an answer as to what's going on yet, so. Alright. We could, guy, yep. Rip, Thomas. Sorry, I'm waiting for Kerbal to close out. Yeah, we'll do that oil change now for our garage stretch break. And then we'll be back for that Artemis presentation. I also gotta get food. Crap. Alright. Turn the sound down a little ways there. Okay. Let me switch up the title. F250 oil change. Okay. We have activated garage stretch brake.
Test. Test. One, two, three. Okay. Test? No, test. Jeez. So I'm going to try something here, guys. I'm going to try to get the alerter to play here. Give me one moment. Because I noticed that I haven't been really I haven't been really able to get it done right. Okay. Should be able to put that up there. All right. Excellent. So the alerter should play. Why did you have the DOT logo? If you do a browser capture, that's what shows up. All right. We don't have a lot of time here, so let me move these out of the way. Goes right there. We don't have a lot of time, so here, let me just put this stuff down so you guys can see what we're up to. So I woke up early this morning and made a run to the parts store and got parts. So I have 5W20 synthetic. This is what technical service bulletins are saying, and then I got an 820S oil. I like using this oil. That's the oil that Ford recommends. I think it's a good idea that if you have a stock engine, it's good to use the oil that the people that have put way more time research in developing that engine together to use what they recommend. You know, so yeah, they wanted 5W20. It was supposed to be 30. It was originally 30 in the 90s, and then Ford put out a technical service bulletin that said use this instead. So that's what we going to do. Yep. And then I also have pan gaskets here. Now, I'm not 100% sure. This isn't the guy at the store said that, I mean, it's a Dorman, but this should fit because he didn't have any of the Felpro OE style gaskets in, so we have nylons. I'm not sure how well that's going to work. I hope it works. You're a pan gasket. Make me a sandwich, Brimo. I'm hungry. Why did they put out the bulletin? Any idea the backstory? I didn't read too much into it. Say pseudo make me a sandwich? What? Guys, all right, just in case anybody, I am very much kidding. You should not talk to your significant other that way unless they know that you're kidding. Could be, I mean, you might know that, I don't know. There's cheesy chicken in the fridge. I forgot I had it and ate something else for lunch. Cheesy chicken is not a sandwich is the end of that sentence. Oh! All right, let me go get my drain pans. Let me go get my damn drain pans here. Got those out. These things are, yep. I have 2 drain pans. I'm not sure why, but we have 2. They are a little dusty. We should probably clean them. There's a lot of dirt and crap in there. It'll get clogged up. Fortunately, your boy ran out of brake clean. Nice. I ran out of brake clean last time, so I got more. And we will just yeah, non-chlorinated. Diet brake clean. There's all kinds of crap in this. Apply brake clean liberally to the area. There's just a lot of dirt because I haven't used this thing in a little while. I just want to clean it up. There's all kinds of dirt, and because it was in my parents' house, there's like dryer lint all in this thing. I don't like dirty equipment. It's annoying. Just gonna give this thing a quick cleaning real quick. Allow myself to introduce myself. That's not even oil. It's just icky. What the hell is brake cream? Oh, it's something that you put on your dessert. Dude, I forgot what this thing looked like when it was clean. I'm not even kidding. I forgot what it looked like. I'm like, oh man, this thing cleans up really nice. This is actually nice. Yeah, it's nice if you take care of it, idiot. Seriously, the dryer vent at my parents' house vents into the garage. I don't know why they did that. Whatever. It's probably not good for the garage, but it's okay. So, everything gets covered in dryer lint. Okay, there we go. Sweet. Oil? Who said anything about oil, chat? You cooking? So yeah, I hope this drain pan gasket will work. I'm not 100% sure it'll work. I mean, it might, I don't know. So here, I'm gonna get my phone out of my pocket so that doesn't get wrecked. Yep. Okay, so simple oil change. I don't know if this is actually gonna be like too educational. Oil changes are the simplest thing that you can do on a car. It's simple preventative maintenance. Me, on my cars, I change every 3,000 miles. Or if you haven't exceeded 3,000 miles on the year, I change them every 12 months. Whatever one of those thresholds you hit first, you change the oil. So like if you don't have a car that's driven a lot, change the oil every year. If you have a car that's driven a lot, change it every 3,000 miles. You can let it go to 3,500, but oil, over time, the viscosity of it breaks down. So what's oil? Oil is chains of hydrocarbons. C, H, C, H, C, H, C, H. It's not that far off from like kerosene that goes into Falcon 9. It's pretty similar, actually. They're both hydrocarbons. One, you just burn one, and the other one's used for lubrication, right? So why do you change the oil? So what the oil does is prevents friction inside of the motor. The smoother operation you can get from the motor, basically the less friction that you can get, the less heat that the motor is going to generate, is going to be more efficient, right? Because what happens if you rub your hands together, right? Creates friction, that creates heat. That's if it's metal, guess what? And you're creating too much friction, you create too much heat, that it'll ablate the metal. It'll eat the motor from the inside out. Okay? You will literally ablate the metal. You heat it up too much, it'll start burning off. So you got to change the oil a lot. Now, like I said, people say, 3,000 miles, 5,000 miles, whatever. It really kind of depends on the weight. But what happens over time with that oil is that the bond between the C and the H in the oil, so if it's being wedged in between two, between a cylinder wall and a piston going up and down, right? If those hydrocarbons get wedged in there, which they do, it's coming down and it will squeeze that. It'll squeeze the oil, basically. And then if you have the journals on the crankshaft or the cam bearing, right? There's something spinning inside of there. The oil gets shot in between the gap between the crankshaft and the journal, which is part of the engine, a piece of metal that's attached to the engine. It's basically the bearing, like similar to the Kraken deck that we're just working on the shuttle, right? So, like in Kerbal, if anybody watches this video, yeah, we build mechanical things in a video game. Just don't worry about that. So basically the oil gets shot in there and it gets squeezed between the metal. It does lubricate it, so it prevents the friction from happening, right? And what friction that is in there, it does absorb it, right? It takes the heat and then moves it away, right? But it also keeps that surface lubricated, so there's no friction that builds up in the first place, right? Whatever it does build up, if there is any, it'll go away. So over time, the bond between the carbon and the hydrogen breaks down and they separate, and the oil gets more liquidy. It gets less sludgy, more liquidy. And when it does that, when it starts to get liquidy, when the viscosity starts to break down, you try to you try to use it to lubricate a surface, it won't lubricate as well. And then you start getting into ablative engines. Basically, the engine will grenade itself because something will get too hot, and then something will move out of alignment, and then you'll spin a bearing, and then the crankshaft breaks. Like, you don't want to do that. Change the oil every 3,000 miles. Trust me on that one. You use synthetic. This is 5W20 synthetic. Yeah, this is a high mileage vehicle. Yeah, synthetic works. Once you put synthetic in your car, don't go back to non-synthetic. That's not good for it. I forget why, but yeah. Most modern vehicles are 5K. Damn, $3,000, your poor wallet. I don't drive my cars much. I'll tell you what, Sawyer, I don't drive. I don't really drive anywhere. Where do I drive? What do I commute to work? I change every 3,000, but I'll tell you, I hit the threshold. I change every year. None of my cars I put over 3,000 miles a year on. None of them, really. Not even close, maybe 300. What's the difference between synthetic and non-synthetic oil? Chat, tell him. I'm gonna get started on the oil change. All right, so first thing that we gotta do, you gotta pop the hood. Okay, so now you don't necessarily need to do this. I've really never done it. I mean, you could disconnect the battery if you really want to, but you don't really need to. I just don't like messing around with things that catch on fire when I know that the car has live battery in it, but you don't need to do that. The way I was taught to do oil changes, you don't need to disconnect the battery. It's just kind of extra precaution, but I won't do it this time around. We don't need to do that. Please do not catch on fire. Yeah. Is Satisfactory upgrade any good with blueprints? It's good for building buildings, Weed, if you want buildings with like beams and stuff. I started building a VAB with all the girders and stuff in it and used the girders as sub-assemblies. It was actually pretty cool. Like I have 1540 and do it every 8 to 10K. Yeah, but Sawyer, that's a diesel engine. Yeah, T-Man, see what Clayton said. Well, that's not really exactly what that's not really exactly what he's talking. Don't see what Clayton said. Hey Yarg, what's going on? Feeling confident, are we? Please don't die on stream. Fine, we'll do it right. Jeez. Okay. Car's got no power. I mean, yeah, you want to be absolutely sure. So, I need this camera. All right. Give me some slack. There we go. Alrighty, so see those things that say engine oil on them? Yeah, that has something to do with what we're working on. So you use this. This is called the dipstick, or another, that's what I like to call Yarg. That's the dipstick. What this thing does is it measures your fluid height. It measures how much oil is in the pan. We were down on oil because it's leaking on the floor. Not by much though. And this right here is the filler cap. This is where you put the oil in. Now, before you drain, you got to take this off. Why? Well, that's the vent. That's the vent now. If I had this thing snug down, right? Because there's a gasket in it. See the gasket right there? If I had this thing snug down, right? And we went to change the oil, it would go bloop, 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 bloop. It's like if you turn a water jug upside down, right? It won't do anything. But if you turn a water jug upside down and punch a hole in the top, it's going to drain really fast. So I always take the filler cap off. Now it's a truck. There's plenty of room. Everybody's a witness. I'm putting it on the radiator. It's on the radiator, just so everybody knows where it is, so we don't lose it. Okay. Now we need to go down here. Now that the cap is off, now if you guys notice, the drain plug is definitely what's leaking. Our drain plug gasket is shot completely. So let's go down here and let's see what we can see. No. Let's look. The bolts that we put in last night, I don't see any new oil up there, but I absolutely see new oil around the drain plug gasket. Oil leaks can be tricky because oil has a lot of surface tension like water. You can have an oil leak that's right here and it'll cake oil all the way onto the transmission, which is exactly what happened. See that? But you can tell that this is crusty because it still has the engine degreaser that we threw on it last night. So this isn't a new leak. That's a new leak. See that? That's a new leak right there. And it's definitely that plug gasket. Because if you look, let me take a look. Let me see something. Yep. It's crusty up in there, man. Damn. That's definitely leaking. Yeah, that's definitely leaking, and the puddle is absolutely right underneath it. Now, another interesting thing to note is that I have other drops right here. See how that's different? These look different. It's because that's degreaser from last night. See the difference? This is the degreaser. This is all the crap that was on the motor from that oil leak. This is actual oil. See how that's like light? Yeah. I mean, the oil in here is not too incredibly bad. That's actually, it's still got some color to it, but we gotta change the oil anyway. So I mean, we're gonna take the plug out, so we gotta change the oil. There are ways to do it. There are ways to get around not doing that, but you could take this drain plug off and you could take the plug off and put a vacuum up on the filler neck if you really wanted to. I don't want to do that. It's been a year since I changed the oil. I changed the oil last November, so I'll do it again here. And then the other thing we need to do is get that old 820 off there. We got to change the oil filter, but I like to drain first, so that's what we're going to do. Just make sure you guys got a good view. You know what? I'll put you guys on the radius arm. You get a better view from there. Can't you just use Teflon tape? I've never heard of using Teflon tape with the oil pan, but I suppose we could. I mean, I don't see why not, but isn't Teflon tape for like water? Isn't that what that's there for? EJ, invent a system to fill it from the bottom. You'll be rich. What? A copper crush washer would work too. No oil November. Teflon tape won't hold up to the heat. Yeah, hostage. Yeah. Hostage. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'll follow you. I agree with you. I've never heard of anybody using Teflon tape down there. It's only pan gaskets. Flex seal. I mean, that's good if you never want the plug to come out again. Teflon is for all liquids as long as it's not hot. Well, we can write that one off. This one, yeah, it definitely gets hot right in that drain plug area. The oil that goes through the motor, like I said, it does absorb some of the heat. So yes, it does get a little bit hot. Now let me see that bolt. What is that? 10 mil? No, it's too, that's not a 10 mil. It's probably 13. If I had to guess. Probably 12 or 13. The reason why it's 12 or 13 is because that's the closest thing to ½ inch. Either that or it's ½ inch. Could be, which is 12.7, but let's see, 13. Oh, first try. Yeah, baby. Okay. So there's a trick to doing this. You twist this until you feel the threads come out, right? So you'll be able to feel when you're at the end of the thread. And if you don't want to get a crazy amount of oil on your hand, you hold it there and then pull it when you're ready. So that way you don't get a lot of oil on your hand. Oh, well, that was the drain plug gasket. It's, speaking of not getting oil on your hand, that's now in here. So I'm just gonna go get a lot of oil on my hand to make sure that we can go look at this thing and see what happened here. Oh. Oh, yeah, okay. That's shot. Yeah, that's no good. Yeah, that's toast. All right, so yep, that's not supposed to be like that. It looks like the exterior of the gasket has completely ripped off of the drain pan bolt. Yeah, I'm surprised this didn't just puke its guts out all over my garage floor, to be 100% honest with you. Okay, good to know. Let's take this up to the workbench. Ugh. Bring it to the crafting table. Yep. Oh, come on. Really? The webcam's gonna croak? Now? It's gonna croak right now. That's not my desk. Look, my hand isn't moving on the mouse. Oh, really, camera? That camera sucks. How did you lose connection? I'm not even touching that camera. I don't understand how I can have so many freaking cameras croak all at once. It's ridiculous. I have to go touching the damn computer with my dang oily hands that I didn't want to get oily, but I got oily anyway. Ugh. The camera probably has an oil leak too. Yep. All right, so take a look. Time for new cameras. Yeah. All right, so the drain pan bolts in good condition. Oh, that gasket's wrecked. Yeah. Yep, that's junk. Ooh. I'm not sure if the nylon will hold this. Not gonna get a good seal. Crap. Because you see how it's like, I don't know if there's a flange there or not. Another epic photo from liftoff. My hands are covered in oil creep. I can't touch the computer, dude. I think you mean frangible nut. Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, no, we can get that off there. Hold on one second. I gotta go get my tool. There's the lockpick set. Here we go. If you have a magnet, run it through the oil. Yeah. That's not a tool, that's a damn brick. Yep. Yeah, it looks like it's one piece. So there's an O'Reilly's near you now? It's not near me. I had to go on an excursion this morning, dude. But yeah, it's a good ways away. But I went there just to see because there wasn't really an O'Reilly's near my house in Boston, dude. The air times thing is starting. Oh, it's 5 o'clock already? Crap. Do this quick. There we go. I got it. I got the gasket off. See, we got under there. It's been pushed to 5:30. You're good. Okay. Cool. Dude, it was 4:30 a second ago. How did it get to be that late, that quickly? Jesus, all I did was sit here and talk about oil for a second. Oil? Who said anything about oil, chat? You cooking? Oil? Oil? Your mouth has time dilation. You know, sometimes I wonder, dude. Trying to get this thing out without pricking my fingers. Thomas, I'm really happy that NASA is as crappy at time management as I am. You know, I'm really happy. It really does end up working for me. This thing really don't want to go no further than this. Torch it? Torch it? What are you, nuts? No, I have to go get my tools. Where are my tools, Lebowski? Nope. 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 Damn it. New oil pan bolt and gasket costs like $5. I have the gaskets, dude. I honestly didn't know if this was removable or not. I did do an oil change on this truck and I put this gasket back in last time and it was, yeah, junk. And that's why I had a leak in the first place. And that's why I'm doing an oil change. That in its time. You're a tool, got him. No pinchy pinches. We could get in here with the blade and see if we can just cut the gasket out. Little just side note, never cut towards you. Put the sharp end of the blade away from you. That's just a good safety tip. Don't cut towards you because if the blade does that and it slips out and it's going towards you, yeah, that's not good. Not a good thing. You'll regret that one. All right, now let me see if I can grab some of my needle nose. Needle dick, needle dick, needle dick. What? Sorry. Aaron over there. Your name is Needle. You called? There's my rips. These aren't needle nose, but they are regular pliers. We should be able to get at it with them. I'm busy, Aqualux. Come on, don't come at me with stuff that actually makes sense right now, man. I had a set of needle nose here on the table. You guys saw them. Don't know where they went though. Thought I would have just put it in my toolbox, but nope. There we go. There we go. Got this drain plug gasket off. Come on. Yeah, okay. I cut it. There we go. Got to be careful. You don't want to get too crazy because you don't want to mess up the threads. Yeah. This was one piece at one point, but it is not one piece anymore. Okay, there is some crap in the threads. I'm just gonna get in here and just get the threads out. Yeah, I mean, we talk about, you know, we do space stuff, right? Talk about space things, and you talk about like FOD, foreign object debris and shit. Excuse me, I don't mean to be swearing so much. See all in there? That's FOD, all that crap. See it? That's FOD. That's how small FOD can get. There's dirt in this thing and gasket, and that's no good. Yeah, I gotta take a warning for swearing too much. Here's FOD. All right, what seat are we raising? Yep. Garages make people curse more. It's science. I mean, summer car is a pretty damn good indicator of that. NASA released some very high resolution liftoff pics from the ML1 cameras for you to check out later. Right on. Ultrasonic cleaner would be nice. Not in the budget right now, but yes. Okay. Hit it. I'm gonna hit it with some degrease, or not, well, not degrease, or brake clean. That gets a lot of crap off. You can spray it on the ground. It's really not a big deal. Brake cleaner evaporates very quickly. I mean, the FOD is not too bad, Orion. The paper towel got rid of most of it. See? Nice and clean. Because you really don't want FOD in here, in this particular case, right? You don't want any crap in here, because if there's dirt, it'll get caught between the flange on the bolt right here. It'll get caught on the flange of the bolt. Come on, focus. It'll get caught on the flange of the bolt, and it'll prevent the gasket from sealing correctly. Now, I have these crappy, well, they're not crappy, they're Dorman. It's a Dorman gasket. It should fit. Yep. See? Let's get a new one on here. Okay, there we go. You just want to make sure that you seal, the gasket seals up against the flange on the bolt. See that? And you don't want crap in there. This is a nylon gasket, Rex, yeah. I think this is on right. I'm not sure. I don't want to cross-thread the damn gasket. But... There we go. Cool. That's how you do that right. So we go down back under here. How is that looking? We dripping? EJ needs to clean his hands and look at these. Yeah, I'm kind of busy. I will look at them in a second. Just keep your pants on. I need one of those paper towels. Still dripping? That's okay. It can drip a little bit. That's not a problem. So what you do is, there's always going to be a little bit of residual. That's fine. What we do is we go in here. We just clean it a little bit. Just get all the crap out of here. And then that on there. And then with the oil pan, the oil drain plug, just snug it up. You don't want to pinch the gasket. If you pinch the gasket, it's not going to work. There you go. See? Oh, what the heck? Did somebody permatext that? That was not me, I swear. Is that permit? Oh. Oh, no. No, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. You're not supposed to do that. Oh. What it's leaking. I didn't see it. It's all. Oh, it is Permatex. What the frick? Who the hell did that? Oh. I don't think that was Hoon. No, Hoon wouldn't do that. Absolutely not. Dude, I put it on there and I didn't notice, Wheat. What is Permatex? Permatex is room temperature vulcanization cream. Shaw, you remember Daryl was talking about that stuff that's on Orion to prevent stuff from leaking? It's gasket. It's caulking, all right? It's caulking. Yeah, I know. Funny word. I get it. It's caulk. That is not supposed to be on the plug. That is not supposed to be there. It's room temperature vulcanization, RTV. You don't want it there because it's FOD. You don't seal the plug that way. That's not a good way to do it. I gotta take that thing off, which kind of sucks because I have to. I'm gonna move the oil out of the way. I'm gonna move it underneath the filter for now. We gotta take this off and. I never noticed that there was a bunch of RTV there. It was caked under all the oil. And I probably didn't notice it last time because I wasn't as attentive as I was this time. Oh, what the frick? That's Bush League. Come on. See this crap? That's not supposed to be there. It looks like it's not going to affect the gasket so much. It looks like somebody permatexed this when the bolt was in there. Oh, that's lame. I can't believe we didn't notice that. No wonder it was leaking so much. I mean, the gasket was shot because it was in two pieces, but also, oh, so that's, dude, like, we did jank by putting some quarter 20 grade 8 bolts in there to pinch the gasket to make it not leak, right? And it doesn't. It's not leaking, so that's good. That is, dude, that's Bush League. That's like worse. That's way worse than this. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about it. I'm gonna fix it real quick because we got the presentation at 5:30. So I'm just gonna grab my little feely tools and I'm just gonna scrape that off. Or we could use a wire brush. I gotta find mine. I don't want to mess up the gasket surface, dudes. That's why I'd prefer not to do that, but everything's got to be nice and smooth. The flanges have to be flush. If they're not flush, it's not going to work. It's just going to leak again. But I seem to have one. I seem to have a wire brush that... Yeah, the gasket was shot, dudes. Like, just on a side note, the gasket's junk. This was the gasket's supposed to be one piece. It's two pieces. That was crap. But also, that's not good either. So, I mean, a fine-tooth wire brush should be able to do it. You really don't want to etch the gasket, because if you etch the damn thing, it's going to seep into those cracks. Oil gets everywhere. You don't want to etch it. If you etch something, like if you etch metal and you run oil over it, oil will get into all those cracks. I got enough of it out. I got enough of it away. It's not on the sealing surface. Yeah, that's no good, man. That's poo-poo. There's crap in the threads. Damn. I can feel the crap that's in the threads. I don't know if that's... Hang on a second. Let me check something. No metal shavings in the oil. Nope, no metal. That's good. That's probably a good thing. It tells me that the engine is still relatively okay. If there's metal shavings in the oil, you got a bad problem. Okay, she's snug. That should seal that right up. Okay. So, like, the reason why I know that etching is supposed to do that is because, like, cylinder walls inside of the engine, they etch so they can basically have the oil seep to it. Okay, now we got to get at the filter. Now I put that filter on, dude, so it shouldn't be too bad. Can you guys see the filter? Let's take a look. Oh, you've been just looking at my legs the entire time. Oh, that's good. There. Time's a NASA presentation. It's 5:30. You got some nice legs there, Strimmer. All right, we gotta finish this quick. There we go. All right, let's go. Ridiculous. Of course, it becomes a freaking struggle. It always does. All right, so the oil filter is primed. There is some oil in it, so we gotta move this under here, and some of the oil is gonna drip onto the I-beam, but that's all right. It happens. This is always a pain in the butt to do because your hands are oily. I gotta get my filter wrench. My hands are too oily. Just hand unscrew? Yeah. Yeah, man. The filter should not be tight. If it's too tight, you're gonna pinch the gasket. You know what? I might be able to get at it this way. Yeah, baby. There we go. Sweet. Got it. Yeah, the filter does like to make a nice mess. You can see where the residue from the last time I took it out was. There is one thing I gotta go grab real quick. Okay. Going to the desk shot here real quick. Hey Mike, what's going on? Okay. Date, mileage. Now keep in mind, my odometer was broken for half a Route 154. The actual mileage on the truck is like 174, but that's what the odo reads, 172,000 miles. So now take the filter out. And what you do, never use the tool to tighten the filter. That's just dumb. You're gonna break it. You'll break the filter off in the threads. So now let me just get a little bit of the oil and just. You want to hit the O-ring. You want to hit the O-ring of the filter with some oil. Makes a nice seal. Now let's take this out. Back down here. Yep. Okay. She dripped a little bit. We're good. Now take the new one with your date and everything on it. Just put this up in here. Make sure you're not cross-threading. You don't want to cross-thread the filter. You'll know it's not cross-threaded because you should just be able to, it should just spin right on. And then just get that just get it hand tight. Don't use the wrench to tighten this thing down. Like I said, you'll pinch the gasket. Cool. All right. I use an impact driver to get mine nice and tight. I'm sure on some planet that's very impressive. But your weak link is, this is Earth. The oil filter wrenches for getting them off after some joker put it on with the wrench. Exactly. I put that filter on, so I know it's done right. Okay, cool. Now, what we gotta do is we gotta fill that thing up. But how are we gonna do that? Need a funnel? I don't have a funnel. I don't use funnels for this. I'll show you what I do. T-minus 3 minutes. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get this done quick. Okay, new filter's on. Come on up over here. Now, I'm gonna try to be cool here. Try to. Probably fail. I would test fill a small amount to test for leaks. We'll know if it's gonna leak, dude.
Discovery, go
at throttle up. I heard the notifier, it works. This thing like 6 quarts? No, 6 quarts. Yeah, it really doesn't like it from that direction. What I usually do is I use one, right? And then I cut this thing in half and then I use it as a funnel. So that way you know you don't want a funnel that has a bunch of dust in it, right? But this cap doesn't like the filler neck. It looks like because the filler neck is tied into the PCV, so it has this weird kind of extension on it. And that makes the hole a little too small. Crap. All right, well, you see that hose? You can see it coming in there. T-minus 1 minute, small hole. Yeah. T-minus 1 minute. Okay, yeah. I understand that. If I take the 5-quart jug and just pour it, I'm gonna spill. Wait, blow by goes back into the oil filter. Blow by goes into the oil filter. Do you even? No. Oh, that's wrong. That's positive crankcase ventilation, Flykin. That's what it is, PCV. So take this, put that on there like that, and then what we do is we take this. It's gonna take frickin' forever. You know what? If I had a drill, I would just zip right through the cap, but frick it, we'll do it this way. It's not a problem. We're gonna spill a little bit, but it is what it is. It doesn't fit. Hang on. Ain't gonna fit like that. Won't fit that. Where did the grips go? There they are. Okay. Use a funnel, for God's sakes. A funnel? What funnel? What funnel? It's a good joke. You're a funnel. You're a funnel guy. That's why I'm gonna kill you last. Don't you think if I had one, Geek, I would be using it? Come on, man. You don't own one funnel. I just moved, man. My dad kept all of them. I'm not even kidding. That's what happened. My dad freaking kept all the funnels. Not even making that up. I probably should have gotten one when I went to the damn parts store today, but that would have made too much sense, dude. Come on. Don't be an idiot. Good enough. Helpmans, they come here and then they'll buy what nobody buys. They come here, they mess up my store. Hey. What's up, J-Shelf? 30-monther. Do you have any Coke or water bottles in the garage? Do you have any solutions that have already, do you have any solutions to problems that have already been solved? Yeah, I do. You guys know that 2 + 2 = 4? 4. We got a pour. And you're still on desk cam. You missed my pour. Oh, I didn't spill it all. Frick. There we go. Ready? And now I'm gonna spill. Drink up. Tranquility Base here.
The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. There's a couple of guys turning blue down there. We're breathing again. Yeah, I definitely spilled. Just thought I'd let you know. Wheatley, Funnel Fund. Thanks, man. Okay. Yeah, I definitely spilled. This is going to be really nice when I go to start the thing again. It's inevitable. Oh, I spilled a lot. Oh, there's some on the headers. Nice. That's gonna be great when we go to do that, when we go to start the car. No, it's just on the headers. It's gonna create some nice smoke. Some on the power steering pump. Oh boy, I got this on everything. It's like Frank's Red Hot, man. I put it on everything. Okay. Cool. And I didn't spill too much, but sucker back in there. Cool. All right, chat. I need you guys down here. Ugh. look at all that oil that I spilled. Oh boy, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. It's just rust prevention. Yeah, for sure. Yep. It's on the valve cover up there. It's dripping down. All right, dudes. It should be good. It's still gonna drip a little bit, but it's just gonna be excess. Now I gotta start it. I gotta start it, and you guys gotta tell me if it leaks. Live at NASA. Oh, geez, thanks, man. Yeah, no, I didn't have somebody tell me that like 2 seconds ago. I really appreciate it. You guys are really helpful. Okay. He's good. Done. The drips are off the valve cover. It's not, it's just from the oil that I spilled, dudes. That's all. Yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit of oil on the headers. That's all. Okay. Hi, Cam. Okay. Put the tools away. Cool. Now, what I would show you is how to dispose of the oil, but I don't think you guys care. So, basically just put it back into the other jug. And then take the other filter and put it. Take the other filter and put it back. Wire brush out of there. Okay. All right, back to work. The Utters One update is on? Wait, what? Really? Wait, when did they start doing this? Oh man, I should probably hurry up. Maybe we should go faster.
All right, I'm back. Hey, did you guys know that the Artemis 1 press conference is on? Did you guys know? I didn't know that. you guys, I'm not sure. I'm not sure we knew. I'm AFK Geek. Is the Artemis 1 press conference on? All right, fellas, I'm gonna go wash my hands. I'll be right back, okay?
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. I'm NASA's Sandra Jones, and we're here this afternoon to talk about Orion's upcoming entry into the moon's sphere of influence and the outbound powered flyby burn, which will help propel the spacecraft into its distant retrograde lunar orbit following the historic liftoff of Orion atop the Space Launch System on Tuesday, November 16th. We're going to hear from a few folks off of the top today, and then we'll allow them to have some opening remarks before we have some question and answers on our phone bridge as well as from media here in the room. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce today's briefers. First, we have Mike Serafin, the mission manager for Artemis 1. We have Jeff Radigan, flight director. Jim Geffrey, manager of the Orion Vehicle Integration Office. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I know it's been a busy few days for you all, so we really appreciate the time. So to start off with some opening remarks, go ahead, Mike.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for continuing to follow the Artemis program and the Artemis 1 mission. As Sandra said, it has indeed been a busy couple of days. In just 3 flight days, we've gone from the surface of the Earth to more than halfway to the moon. And we are setting up for a key decision gate tomorrow, which is to decide, as part of a pre-planned and a pre-mission decision gate, whether to enter the distant retrograde orbit. And to date, all the systems look favorable for that, but we're going to continue to gather systems performance information and data on the Orion spacecraft before making a conscious decision to commit to that distant retrograde orbit as part of the outbound powered flyby, which is the first of a 2-maneuver sequence. In terms of flight test objectives, as we talked prior to the mission, we have 4 primary objectives. Priority 1 is demonstrate the vehicle at lunar reentry conditions. Priority 2 is to demonstrate the vehicle in the flight environment. Priority 3 is to retrieve the vehicle, and priority 4 is what we call bonus objectives associated with science, technology demonstrations, and outreach to each and every one of you. We have completed the first half of Priority 1 with the Space Launch System delivering Orion to the point of translunar injection and putting all of the kinetic and potential energy into the spacecraft, and now we need to take that out, and we will realize the second half of that objective on entry and splashdown day. Priority 2 and Priority 4, we are 20% complete with the objectives. 26 of 124 objectives are already complete. We have 40% of the remaining.
Do you guys know that the
objectives,
Artemis press is on?
124 in progress, and then we have about 40% or 48 of the 124 remaining ahead of us. But overall, the mission in just 3 short days is proceeding and exceeding expectations. In terms of payloads, we did successfully deploy all 10 of the 10 CubeSats. We are getting reports from a number of the payload customers that show that half of them are successfully executing their mission. The other half are working through a series of issues with either intermittent communications or just some of the CubeSats themselves are having difficulties. One of those is a success story that we were concerned about prior to flight, which was the Luna HMAP CubeSat that we were concerned had a low battery state of charge. That one actually is on path to have a successful mission. The payloads on board Orion, 3 of the 4 that we have, we don't get any real-time telemetry data from. The bio experiment number 1, all that data is recorded on board and recovered post-flight. The ESA active dosimeter experiment, again, is recorded on board and recovered post-flight, as well as the Matryoshka Askorad experiment, or MARI experiment, that is recorded on board and recovered post-flight. But the Callisto technology demonstration payload has checked out. We've checked it out through the Deep Space Network. We've had a Snoopy sighting in the cockpit, and we are setting up for the first guest event in the next couple of days, and I won't get in front of that and spoil that one for you. But I will have a bit of a spoiler alert on some Easter eggs in the cockpit. We do have some Easter eggs in the full view of the cockpit. So when you do get that view of the cockpit, happy hunting, folks.
Thanksgiving, Michael.
In terms of just overall systems performance, we've met each and every day of the mission. We met the day of launch at 5 p.m. on the 16th. For about an hour, we saw some performance funnies associated with the star trackers that caused us to pull together an anomaly resolution team. And that anomaly resolution team has concluded. We concluded that today. And it had to do with what we call dazzling of the star trackers with thrusters and thruster plumes actually being picked up with these highly sensitive instruments. So we worked through that, and there was some great leadership by the Orion team and the folks that work with Jim Geffrey and Jeff Radigan to resolve that one. On flight day 2, we did meet again as a mission management team for the first time here in Houston, and we met for just under 2 hours, and that was largely just get settled in, review the status of the mission. We did go through 13 anomalies and funnies. Most of those are relatively benign, or what I would call the team learning about the system performance and learning how to operate it in the flight environment, or to interact between the ground and the spacecraft as we fly along. And then today we met to review the Orion spacecraft performance, and Jim will give you some highlights on it, but it is exceeding performance expectations, and it was actually fun to see the team come in and report on the Orion spacecraft performance. We did close out that anomaly resolution team associated with the star trackers, and we also celebrated a stalwart within the Orion program whose last day is today, Mark Kirsich, the former Orion program manager. So it was fun to see him share that moment where he got to recognize that his thumbprints are on the Orion spacecraft after his many years within the program on his final day as a NASA employee. So that was a fun thing to share with him. In terms of just imagery, we've got a couple of items that we'll share with you. If we could cue up the first video, which is from the launch of the Orion spacecraft and the Space Launch System rocket. We've got the big physics of launch on full demonstration here for you. This is the rocket lifting off from the point of view of the Space Launch System and then doing its roll off the pad, and you can see the plume heading down towards the pad, and just the rocket lighting up the Space Coast, and it was quite a sight for those that got to be there and feel it. You got to feel it in your bones. It was a remarkable launch. The next video that we've got for you is of the Orion spacecraft looking back at itself while it's mated to the interim cryo propulsion stage. And there's a bit of an Easter egg in this video too. If you look in the top center, you can actually see the core stage after separation below it. And this is one of the solar array wingtip cameras looking back at the main body of the interim cryo propulsion stage, as well as the spacecraft adapter, and then the aft half where the avionics ring is, and the RL-10 engine is just off to the screen to the right. But to me, this was just a remarkable photo because we are some 975 plus miles in altitude here, and you see the core stage falling away back towards Earth, and this was just a remarkable video as well. And then the last one that we've got for you is of the solar array wings articulating for the perigee raise maneuver. And this is Orion looking at itself, and you can see the Earth below the spacecraft. We position the solar array wings to the load-bearing configuration for the perigee raise maneuver, and then we had the load-bearing event, and then we reconfigured them back and fully articulated them to the sun-pointing position. So these are just a few small highlights of what we've seen in the 3 short flight days, and it's been a remarkable mission to date, and we're proud to share all of this with you. So with that, I'll hand it back to you, Sandra.
Thank you so much, Mike. Beautiful imagery and photos, certainly. So next up, we'll hear from Flight Director Jeff Radigan.
Well, I got to tell you, it's a great day to be in the control center anytime we're flying a spacecraft to the moon. It's just a lot of fun for all of us that are operating the vehicle and checking it out, putting it through its paces.
Yeah, it was
Today, the team was out doing the survey of the external of the crew module and the service module, using the Orion cameras to take a look at every inch of the vehicle that we can see, really check out and see how the exterior surface of the vehicle is doing, which of course leads to some of the video and pretty pictures that Mike was showing earlier. Of course, the team's preparing for the outbound flyby, and you know, the OPF maneuver that's coming up. We've got a couple of trajectory corrections before we get there that we'll do over the next couple of days, and then of course we'll do the burn 70 nautical miles off the backside of the moon for about 2.5 minutes, and the burn will really put us on our way to the distant retrograde orbit, which is where we're going to continue the checkout of Orion. All of us will really be looking to receive data since the burn is done on the backside of the moon, and we'll lose comm with the vehicle for a little bit of time. It'll autonomously do the burn, and then we'll pick data up and see how Orion's doing. That'll lead us to actually 4 days later, where we'll do the DRI burn, the distant retrograde insertion, which is what really is the final step of putting us into lunar orbit. And that'll be another 1.5-minute burn that Orion will do, and